There's a story in our Midrash about an older man who spent his days as he aged planting and planting. It reads, "Just as you came in and found plantlings which others had planted, so shall you plant for your children." And when the emperor nearby walks by and stumbles upon the man on multiple occasions, the man toiling and working hard all day, the old man says, "If I am so lucky, I will eat the fruit, but if not, it will be for my children." And we stand here and mourn the loss of Moshe Watemacher, affectionately known by most as Moishi. I can't help but think that Moishi was the man in this text. Story after story told about Moishi. He was hardworking, toiling, driving forward for a better life for his children and his grandchildren. And that life was free, prosperous, and with Judaism at its core. Yaakov Moshe Watemacher, Yaakov Moshe ben Yitzchak Tzvi Kohen. We can't help but see his beautiful family, spanning many ages and generations, and feeling that Moishi was able to live out his dream of creating a thriving, loving family in a place free to practice their Judaism. Moishi was born and raised in Ukraine in extremely poor conditions. One of 4 siblings, it was in the Ukraine that he met his beloved wife, Bracha, and their 2 children. He had their 2 children, Zina and Gary. He was an electrician by trade, and his family spoke on many occasions about how creative and crafty he could get in all situations. Even though Judaism was banned in the Soviet Union, Moishi found a way to keep it alive for their family. Zina tells harrowing stories of Moishi sending her on a bus with live chickens so she could hand-deliver them to the shochet to have them slaughtered in a kosher manner. He was also creative in pickling vegetables to save them for the long, hard winters. But through it all, his children were his pride and joy. He was so selfless when times were hard. He would eat the skin of those chickens. The kids would get the meat, and Bracha, the leftovers on the bones. When the opportunity through his sister arrived to leave Ukraine and go to Canada, Moishi and his family leapt at the opportunity. They were finally able to practice their Judaism in freedom, finally build the life he dreamed of for his family. Once they made it to Canada, to Montreal, Moishi was yet again working for his future and being creative. This time, finding a way to heat the local mikveh from the street pole lighting to ensure a nice experience in the winter. He collected stamps and coins, but it was once he got to Canada with his children that they were able to grow and create the beautiful trees that Moishi planted. Zina went on to marry David, who had 5 kids. Michael, who married Mindy, Ora married Ron, Miriam married Jonathan, Nechama married to Matan, and Zvi. He went on to have 10 grandchildren through Zina: Shalom, Yardena, Batya, Jaden, Abigail, Chaim, Menucha, Rina, Nava, Tair, and his namesake Yaakov Moshe. Gary went on to marry Dina, with their 3 children, Ariella, Tzvi, and Deborah, who married Jacob. And they have another grandchild, great-grandchild, Sammy. I didn't have the chance to spend time with Moishi, but I can see in your faces the pride you have in him and the pride he must have had for you. The grandchildren remember him as a wonderful grandfather, having a special drawer of candy for them when they finished their main course. I can't imagine how special it was for him to give treats to his grandchildren, symbolizing his life of planting for others and finally being able to provide a luxury in sugar. While we sit with heavy hearts on this morning, may we always remember Moishi's creativity, his passion for his faith and family, and his tireless resolve to keep planting even if he knew he wouldn't be around to see the fruits of his labor. Our Midrash story ends with a reference to the book of Genesis, that God planted in the Garden of Eden for whomever his offspring might be. Let us always carry Moishi's soul with us as we continue to plant more saplings and build beautiful, strong, free trees going forward. Let us say, Amen.